Hello students, in today's class we are going to discuss whether the given arithmetic operator is a binary operation or not on a given set. So you know what are arithmetic operators? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, addition modulo operators, that is addition modulo and multiplication modulo. So we take one of them as binary operation star and we'll verify whether it is a binary operation or not on a given set. How are you going to verify? You need to show that if you take any two elements of G, then their binary operation, that is A star B, is also in G. And this has to be true for all the values of G. That means you have to give all the values of G to A and B by giving one at a time. That is one value for A and one value for B. Similarly, you have to write all the combinations and all the combinations must be in G. Then we say closure law holds. And if closure law holds, then we say the given star is a binary operation on G. So when we say star is a binary operation, you take any two elements of G, operate it, the resulting answer must be in G. And this has to be true for all the elements of G. Then we say G is a binary, star is a binary operation on G. Remember, even if it fails for one value of G, then star is not a binary operation. That means closure law fails and star is not a binary operation. How you are going to verify this for finite case? For finite set, it's very easy. You know, already you have constructed the Callis table, wherein you will write the binary operation in the left side, leftmost corner, and you have to write all the entries of G on top row, all the entries of G in the leftmost column. And what you will write in the remaining cells? They are A star B, that is, you will operate those two values, row heading and column heading, you will write. That is what I am asking here. So in finite case, you see, you construct the table, and if all the values in the table are present in G, then we say closure law holds. Otherwise, closure law fails and star is not a binary operation. It's very easy. You have to write all these things, that is manual solving, in the right hand side, that is ruled part. Though you can write this part, that is manual solving, in the left side, you write all these preliminary in the right side, and the program maxima code in the right side, that is in the rule side. And if you want to, you can write the manual solving in the right side also. But if you want to save the space and page, you can write the manual solving in the left side, that is unruled side. Don't forget to write and solve all the problems which are given in the program 1 and also in the program 2. You have to write in the record, take a 200-page record, write them. Before writing in the record, first you write in the workbook and submit it to me. After correction, you can write in the record once after saying whether it is correct or not. But you have to write these preliminaries in the record. Don't forget. Now, let's see the first example. Verify whether the addition modulo phi is a binary operation or not on Z phi. We know what is meant by addition modulo phi. Take two numbers A and B, add them because it is addition. A plus B you will get. If that answer is less than phi, you write the same number. If that answer is equal to phi or greater than phi, then you divide that number from phi and write the remainder. That is modulo operator. If it is multiplication, you multiply A and B, and if their answer is less than phi, you write the same number. If it is equal to or greater than phi, then you divide it from phi and write the remainder. And what about Z phi? Z5 consists of elements 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Z6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Like that. Now you construct the Callis table because it is a finite set. For finite set, you have to construct a Callis table, or in this case it is Callis table or addition table. So write all the elements of Z5 in the row, similarly in the column. And if you assume these row heading as A takes all the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, and these as B, column heading. We have said here A and B must take all the values of that set. Here G is Z5. A and B must take all the values of Z5. So that is A and B should come from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are giving. Then A plus B, that is, if you take A as 0, B as 0, then 0 plus 0, that is A plus B. 0 plus 1, A plus B. 0 plus 2, A plus B. 0 plus 3, A plus B. 0 plus 4, A plus B. So this is of the form A plus B, where A is 0 and B is taking all these values. Now change the value for A. Take A as 1 and give the value for B, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You will get again another row which is having combinations of A plus B. Do this for all the values of A. So all these values are nothing but A plus B. Now you have to see whether your A plus B is in Z5 or not. That is what it is saying. Your star is addition modulo 5 here plus B. A addition modulo 5B is in Z5 or not. Yes, all these values are in Z5, 0 to 4. Therefore, closure law holds. Hence, addition modulo 5 is a binary operation on Z5. That is what I have written here. You don't have to write all these things in the examination. Simply you write the table and you can write this. Since all the entries in the table are in the set Z5, closure law holds. Hence, addition modulo 5 is a binary operation on Z5. Similarly, I have verified whether multiplication is a binary operation on the set of fourth roots of unity. Yeah, your binary operation is star. Write all the entries of this set in the topmost row as well as top left column. So this gives you A into B, A into B, A into B, A into B, A into B. Here A is 1, B is 1. A is 1, B is minus 1. A is 1, B is I. 1 into 1, 1 into minus 1, 1 into I. I had given all the combinations. That's it. If all the entries in the table are in the given set, this is satisfying closure law. And hence, multiplication is a binary operation. That is what I have written. Now, I had given 3 examples. You work it out and you construct the table and verify whether this part holds or not. That is, if all the entries in the table are in the set G, given set or not. If they are in given set, then closure law holds, and the given given arithmetic operation is a binary operation. Otherwise, not a binary operation. That's it. In this problem, I had given subtraction. You see these things. Now, we'll write the maxima code and we'll execute and we'll try to obtain the results. Now, let's write the maxima code for verifying whether addition modulo 5 is a binary operation on Z5 or not. Remember, what is the condition that you need to verify? You have to show that if A and B are any two elements of Z5, then A plus B must also be in Z5. So we have to predict whether all the values A plus B, where A and B are from Z5, belongs to Z5 or not. Or in general, here I have used XY instead of AB. Now, as usual, we'll write killall to kill all the variable or results temporarily stored. Then we call the values of Z. You can use in all the program you just use the lowercase sensitive, lowercase letter, that is Z, small z. What are the values of Z5? It is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That I'll call. So your Z is a set. I don't want to display this, just I want to execute it. So I've assigned it. So your Z is a set assigned with this value, and it executes, but output will not be displayed. And I'll write the binary operation. I'd given name BO, binary operation of X and Y. And what is the binary operation? It is addition modulo 5. So since it's a function, so functional assignment, binary operation assigned with the colon equal sign, modulus of addition, that is X plus Y, sum these two, and modulo 5, modulo number. I don't want to display this, just I want to execute it. So whenever you use the command BO of XY, the meaning of this one is, it is addition module, X plus Y modulo 5. You know the meaning of modulo. So if the number result is less than 5, it keeps same number. If the number is equal to or greater than 5, it divides and gives you remainder. That is what it does. So BO of XY is our binary operation now. Now we'll give the temporary variable flag as 1. It means true. We had given initially true. So we have assumed that this binary operation is true. Okay, let's see what happens. For I in Z, for I in Z, so we are giving all the values of Z to I. That is, I will be 0, I will be 1, I will be 2, I will be 3, I will be 4. So I takes all the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, while solving manually, I said A, B. Row heading is A, column heading is B. So in the similar manner, instead of A, we are giving I. Row heading is I and column heading is J. Row heading I, column heading is J. For I in Z do, for J in Z do. Remember, we have to take two values, A and B. So similarly, I and Z, J instead of A and B. If element P of binary operation of I and J in Z, what is the meaning of this? You operate taking two elements at a time, binary operation of this, and if the answer is in Z, this is element predicate. That means it predicts whether this element is present in this set or not. Element predicate this value, binary operation of I and J in Z. If it is true, if it is not equal to true, that means this element is not present in Z, then we'll assign flag as 0. Flag will be assigned with the value 0. What is the meaning of that? That means this is not a binary operation. So your flag will be 0 and it will be terminated and result will be displayed. Otherwise, if this is true, then flag will be remaining as 1 only. Flag will remain 1 and it runs the program for all the values of I and J. And at the end, after giving all the values for I and J, it comes out of the loop, and if still flag is 1, if flag equal to 1, don't use the assignment operator. You are not assigning it. You are calling the answer. Flag is stored with value 1 or 0. If flag is 1, then print or display. You can use any command. Print given operation is a binary operation on Z, that is this set, or else print given operation is not a binary operation on Z. Now, how it verifies? First, it takes I equal to 0 and it gives all the values of Z to J. To start with, remember I had given I as 0 and J will take 0, 0, 0, but the binary operation of 0, 0. that is 0 plus 0 modulo of this. 0 is less than 5, so 0 only comes. 0 comma z. Now it verifies this. Element predicate 0 comma z. Yes, 0 is present in z. Therefore, this is not equal to true is wrong. If this is not equal to true, then only flag value is 0. But this is equal to true. Therefore, flag will remain 1. Flag will not change. Flag will be 1. Now j changes. I remains same. J changes to 1. Your I is 0. J is 1 now. 0 comma 1. That is 0 plus 1. Again it is less than 5. So your answer is 1. 1 comma z. Yes, 1 is in z. Therefore it is true. Therefore flag value will remain 1. It will not be 0. If this is not true, then only flag value becomes 0. But here it is 1 which is in z. Therefore it is true. Equal to true. Therefore flag value is 1. So similarly j changes to next 2. I remains 0. 0 comma 2. BO of 0 comma 2. 0 plus 2 is 2, which is less than 5. Therefore 2 again comes. 2 comma z. Yes, 2 is in z. Therefore true. Flag value 1. Then next j takes 3. I remains 0. So 0 BO of 0 comma 3. That is 0 plus 3. Modulo of 0 plus 3. 3 is less than 5. Therefore 3 is the answer. 3 comma z. Element predicate of 3 comma z. Yes, 3 is in z. Therefore it is true. Therefore flag remains 1. J goes for next 4. I remains same. So BO of 0 comma 4. What is BO of 0 comma 4? Modulus of 0 plus 4 comma 5. Yes, 4 is less than 5. So 4 is the answer. 4 comma z. Yes, 4 is in z. Therefore element predicate gives you true. That means flag is 1. So for this case, flag remains 1. Now j has exhausted. It has taken from 0 to 4. So next loop comes back to I. Yes, I has taken 0. Now I will go to 1. Now I will take 1 and you have to give j 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again it verifies. I is 1, j 0. 1 comma 0, that is 1 plus 0, which is less than 5. And answer is 1. 1 is in z. Therefore true, flag 1. Then j will take 1. Yes, 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1, which is less than 5. Therefore 2 will come. 2 is in z and it is true. Therefore flag is 1. So this is going to repeat for all the values till I takes 4 and j takes all the values. And after taking all these values, still if your flag remains 1, still your flag is equal to 1, then it displays given operation is a binary operation on Z. Even it fails for a single value, then your flag will be 0 only. If flag is 0, then it displays given operation is not a binary operation on Z. Remember, if flag value equal to 1, then only it prints given operation is a binary operation. Otherwise, it is not a binary operation. In this case, output is it is a binary operation on Z. So similarly, we had given a problem for multiplication. You can go through that. Same, only thing instead of addition we are having multiplication and modulo number is 8. And the values of given set are 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Same thing. No change in the program. See, in this case, given operation is not a binary operation of Z. So somewhere it is not a binary operation on Z. How? For example, see, suppose I takes 2, because I has to take all the values. You give all the values for I. Initially I takes 1 and it runs. Flag will come after giving value for j 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I shifts to 2. Then j has to be taking the values 1, 2, 3, 4. So initially j will take 1. I is 2, j is 1. 2 into 1 is 2. So that is in G. Flag will be 1. Then I is 2. J takes 2. 2 into 2, 4. Again, it is in G, flag takes 1. Then I will be 2 only, but J will take 3. So 2 into 3, 2 into 3 is 6. 2 into 3 is 6, and a modulo 8, it is 6 only. But 6 is not in this set. Right? BO of I comma j, that is 2 comma 3. 2 comma 3 is 2 into 3, which is less than 8. 6, which is less than 8. And 6 comma z, element predict whether 6 is in z or not. 6 is not in G. Therefore, element predicate is not true. This comes. If it comes, then flag will take 0. So your flag has become 0. So your flag is not 1 anymore. It is 0. Even it fails, for one case, your flag will remain 0. Flag will remain 0. Therefore, when flag becomes 0, it comes out and it displays if flag equal to 1, then display this, else this. Flag is not 1, therefore it displays this. That is, given operation is not a binary operation. That's it. So you work out all the problems which they are given in the exercise. Now we'll execute this in the Maxima. Let's write the program. As usual, first we have to start with kilol with $sign. It will not display. Now write this set. What is your set? It is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have assigned it to set. I don't want to display this, so I'll put a $sign. Now let's write binary operation. What is your binary operation? Your binary operation of any two elements is you have to use functional assignment operator colon with equal sign. It is modulo, in fact addition modulo, so x plus y of 5. If there is no modulo operator, you don't have to write mod, simply you can write this. Suppose if they are given simply multiplication or sum x plus y, that's it. This gives you addition of x and y. But here it is addition modulo 5. So we have to write mod x plus y of 5. Then after that you need a temporary variable. Let's call that one as flag and assume that it is true. Right? Now afterwards you have to give values for x and y. Your x will be replaced by I and y will be replaced by j. And we have to give all the values of z. So your x should take all the values of z, y should take all the values of z. So for I in z do. What it has to do? It has to do this. Right? Now give values for j also. For j in z do, you have to predict if element predicate of which element you need. We need addition modulo of this, which is stored in BO. So BO of, instead of x we are giving I, instead of y we are giving j. We have to verify whether this binary operation of two values I and j comes in Z or not. If it comes in Z, then it retains flag as 1. If it not comes, if it is not true, then your flag has to change by 0. Flag will take which value? It will take 0. And once after taking 0, it will terminate. Now, if flag is 1, then print the given operation is a binary operation on Z5. Else print the given operation is not a binary operation on Z5. Stop. Now execute this. Shift to print. Yes, it verify all the values of I and j for z, and it is giving you that all the values of binary operation I and j are present in z. Therefore, it is a binary operation on z file. Similarly, you can verify for the next one. How? I'll copy down this. There, their given value for z is simply 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll take only 1, 2, 3, 4, and your binary operation is multiplication modulo 8. So this is multiplication and modulo number is 8, and we have to verify. Same value, same way. Only thing, we'll take this as z because we have assigned it as z. You can give any name, add given z, that's it. If you wish, you can write G, J, anything. Doesn't matter. Now we'll verify whether all the, whenever you take values for x and y from z, whether their product modulo 8 is again in z or not. Shift enter. Yes, it is saying the given operation is not a binary operation on z. That is what I said. It's very simple. See, when you multiply 2 and 3, what's your answer? 6. 6 is not an element of z. But your 2 and 3 are values of z, and their product is not in z. Therefore, closure law fails, and hence it is not a binary operation. This is how you can write the Maxima program and execute. We'll continue with the program 3 in the next class. Thank you.